what's the point of a nutritional therapist? What's the point of nutritional therapy, or why is it interesting? Why should I care?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a time of more information than ever, and that's in lots of ways that's great. But when it comes to something like nutrition, that's also incredibly confusing. So a day doesn't go past at the moment where we're not being told by the media of what to eat or what deficiency can cause disease, and actually a lot of people don't know what's right and wrong or what the full picture is. Nutritional therapy is really a way of, and I like to call it diet and health coaching, because it's really, the coaching aspect's important. It's really about looking at someone individually. What your needs are, what my needs are quite different, and everyone will have slightly different requirements. So nutritional therapy is important for helping educate people as to what their requirements are, and I really like to draw in, as a keen foodie myself, showing people how they can really implement that day to day in a way that they find enjoyable. So making sure that we can eat well and optimise our health, but also retain the pleasure of food is sort of the key driver for my approach to nutritional therapy.
So can you talk a bit about your personal journey and why this is important to you?
I spent my the best part of my 20s very focused on career, and was also, it was very much a work hard, play hard time. So a lot of social activity, but also the work that I did within an advertising and digital media agency meant a lot of socialising with clients. So hours were very long, and energy expenditure was high. I loved what I did, and I loved the people that I worked with, but it also came with quite high stress levels. And at that point I realised that something for a while had just felt like it wasn't fulfilling me anymore, and that next rung on the ladder wasn't where I wanted to be. Although I was paid very well and had a lot of ticks in the boxes for all the external things, I felt that something was missing for me personally, and wasn't sure what that was. So I decided to take a break from such a full-on schedule and to actually do something that I'd had a lifetime ambition to do, which was to travel. At the end of my trip I visited India and got a couple of stomach bugs, as I'm told is often the way for people there. So didn't think much of it and had a course of antibiotics. When I got back to the UK, still found that I wasn't in optimal health. I had a very sensitive digestive system that was really not tolerating all the foods that I'd happily enjoyed for a long time. I reached a bit of a dead end. I had NHS treatment, and following their antibiotics and conventional treatment, I still was quite low on energy and had quite a few digestive sensitivities, food intolerances, and I had really lost my I hadn't lost my love of food actually, but I was really challenged in being able to enjoy my food in the same way, and I was really fed up about it. I was taking sort of specific foods when I was going and doing social things, and it just felt like instead of a pleasure it became something that was a bit of a restraint. So the combination of wanting to improve my health and my energy and get my love of food back again, I started exploring what I could do for myself. Nutrition, I realised, was a huge area, and I learnt more and more about it. And as people started to ask me for my expertise, just friends and family, I realised that I had quite a lot to share with people. The full spectrum of complementary therapy that I'd used as part of my recovery journey had incorporated a lot of lifestyle aspects too. Some life coaching work, I'd got into meditative work, doing a couple of meditation retreats, and yoga, and a lot of things that had really helped my health overall. And as soon as I discovered the nutritional therapy course that incorporated those lifestyle aspects, that's when I realised that I could find a path that would enable me to facilitate people on their journey to recover optimal health too.
Okay, so what would you say would be the first thing that I could do?
So the first thing that I would ask of anyone wanting to do some work on their diet would be to complete a dietary diary. It's a really empowering way to start to become mindful of what your habits are day to day. But I'm always reassuring people, whether it's at the initial session or throughout the process, that I believe really strongly that we should enjoy our food and enjoy our relationship with our food. No food policing at all. Literally, you can write down as it is, but that will help you have a clear look at your current patterns and habits, and it gives me a really clear picture of what we're working with currently, and I'll get you to also complete some health questions alongside that, and any supplements you might be taking at the moment, and that makes a complete picture for us to start to look at first steps to take you on that journey. How do I practice what I preach? So actually, I really enjoy practicing what I preach, but I also advocate, as you and all my clients will know, the 80-20 rule is that it's really important that we don't get stressed or too restricted by our approach to diet. So I very much make sure that I can give myself enough space to be flexible, but I like to, when I've got bigger, where I've got more time available, that's when I'll make sure that I'm prepared. So it might be batch cooking, so that I can stick some things in the fridge and freezer. It might be knowing that I've got the store cupboard full of things for those days, because we're not going to get to this optimal point where life runs smoothly, which sounds funny now, but I spent a long time thinking, when will I get to that point that it all just is constantly even keel? And actually the reality of the modern world is that there'll always be something that doesn't go as we expected it to, or as we planned it to. So the key to success with any nutritional approach is that we've got things in place for when we're too tired, when we're too busy, or when we're delayed in traffic somewhere, or suddenly having to eat somewhere that we didn't expect. So my day-to-day incorporation comes from the times where I am more in balance and I can get everything sort of stocked up, and then when I know when life's a bit more challenging, by continuing to eat and drink well, I can ride out those more challenging times, and it doesn't have such an impact on everything else.
What would be the one takeaway that you'd want us, the audience, to have from you?
Understanding the fuel that works best for your body is one of the most powerful discoveries that you can make. And that the journey in doing that and the process to discovering how to eat well and live well is actually a really fantastic journey. It's enjoyable and there's lots of delicious opportunities to experiment with along the way. So the one thing that I really want to convey to people day to day, and really, if I could only say one thing, it would be that it's such a fantastic opportunity. There's so much pleasure to be had from understanding how to eat well and live well.